Hello everyone and welcome back to RIZE Racing League. We're with our Division 2 drivers. They're in their second round of the mini tournaments that we are holding, and the race is in Brazil. Following with the other two divisions, we are doing a sprint race format. What that means is we'll have a short qualifying session followed by 25% race, and the grid for that race will be determined by where the drivers qualify. Then what we will have is a 50% race, which will then, the grid for that race will be determined by the finishing positions of the 25% race. So this is the new bunch of drivers here. They still don't have a lot of experience with each other. There's a lot of different abilities, some old faces who have rejoined, some new faces who we don't know a lot about. So it'll be really interesting to see who shines on this track and who maybe struggles. Either way, we should be in for an exciting one as we follow FTR Kyle, who is the first driver on track and ready to start his flying lap of the session. He is the only driver opting for the medium tires. Interesting strategy there. And one thing we do know about FTR Kyle is he is fast. Claims he's not fast around Brazil, but his times will be the judge of that. Let's find out what he can do as he makes his way down the back straight. He's got DRS assistance. And into Sector 2 he goes. You can see there's quite a bit of track activity now. A number of drivers on outlaps. But there doesn't appear to be any traffic directly ahead of FTR Kyle as he is making his way into Sector 3 now. There is yellow flags out in Sectors 1 and Sectors 2, but there doesn't appear to be any crashes, just drivers going a little bit slower. And he's keeping that tight to the barriers as he sets a 1:8.3. And next driver to cross the line is Count Dooku with a 1:10 on the soft tires. A little bit of work to do if he wants to get up near FTR Kyle's time. Kraken coming along here down the pit straight, crosses the line, a 1:9.1 on the soft tire for the Haas driver. And Waters with a 1:8.8 on the soft tire. Interesting that Kyle is on the medium tire, and no one has been able to beat that time yet on the soft tire. Jay Foxwell, 1:8.4, he's getting close, just 1/10 of a second off. Still have a couple of drivers in the pits, AMG Page, ABD El Senado, ERS Hamilton and Ali all in the pits. And Ripping Rod's in the Mercedes heading through Sector 2 now. And down the pit straight he goes. He's got DRS assistance here. And that's a very respectable time indeed. It's a 1:8.5. And we are still waiting for a driver who can knock FTR Kyle off provisional pole. Ferrari drivers 6th and 7th at the minute. Foxwell coming across the line there. And he is going for another flying lap attempt. DRS down the back straight. And he has already found 2/10 on his best time. Through sectors 1, he's got sectors 2 and 3 to navigate. At the minute, it does look like there's yellow flags out. In sectors 2, we do have an Aston Martin that appears to be going slow. It looks like the Aston Martin of Waters, and he also has both Ferraris ahead of him as well. Hopefully none of that causes too much trouble. And it doesn't appear to be, as Foxwell is now up 3/10 on his best time, and he set a purple sector 2 time there. That is very nice indeed from the McLaren driver. Is he going to be the first driver to take FTR Kyle off that pole position? He is. It's provisional pole for J. Foxwell in the McLaren. It's a 1:8.1. The downside to that is he has set 3 laps on those soft tires, and Kyle is on the medium tire, which is going to last a little bit longer in the race. So while at the minute Foxwell is on provisional pole, in terms of tire choice he is actually at a little bit of a disadvantage. Still have a number of drivers who have not set times yet, as El Senado comes into sectors 2 and he is on the medium tires. Just 2 drivers opting for the medium tires. Into sector 3, the AlphaTauri driver goes. What time on the board is it going to be for El Senado? He's got DRS assistance down the pit straight. Oh, it's a 1:8.8 on those medium tires. That's again a very respectable time, especially on the medium tires. We also have ARS Hamilton, second Haas driver here. He's just moving out of the way to allow some of that traffic to pass him, his teammate included. He has set a 1:8.7 on the medium tires as well. Very, very nice indeed. We just have 3 drivers so far who are opting for that medium tire strategy for the sprint race. And on board with Alpars, the Alpine driver currently has his lap invalidated and does not have a lap time on the board yet. There is still 9 minutes left on the session, so there is plenty of time to get that lap on the board. Let's go right on board now with Nobushi, Alfa Romeo driver, as FTR Kyle sets the fastest lap time of the session. He takes that time back off Foxwell as Nobushi goes wide there, just losing traction, and as a result just going above track limits, and that has invalidated his lap time. He's going to need to go again if he wants to get a time on the board. Race Control Rip Rods does have a 5-place grid penalty for a collision with AMG Page. Not sure what happened between those 2 drivers, but that is putting Rip Rods at a bit of a disadvantage there. And Nobushi did look like he was going for another flying lap attempt, although he completely cut the corner there on the pit straight, and that has invalidated his attempt again. He is going to need to go again if he wants to get a lap time on the board. A couple other drivers who are yet to set lap times. Ali also in the Alfa Romeo is in the pits currently, and his teammate Nobushi is not having much luck either. ABD in the pits, and AMG Page is setting his first potential flying lap attempt here. Let's see what he can do on those soft tires. And Foxwell is on an out lap at the moment. He wants to get that provisional pole position back from FTR Kyle. Very nice for AMG PH as he makes his way into sectors 2. There's plenty of clear track ahead of him to just push the limits of that Williams as far as it will go. And into sector 3 up the hill. And it's a 1.9.7 for the Williams driver. That puts him in P9 currently. Let's go back on board with Nobushi. Previous lap attempts were invalidated. He's making his way up the hill into sector 3 now. This lap attempt has not been invalidated so far. Let's see what he can do as he heads back onto the pit straight. And he's got DRS assistance. What time is it going to be for the Alfa Romeo driver? It's a 1.9.3. Not a bad time at all. Heading back with Alpars. He is having some difficulties here with track limits, it seems. As Foxwell, first driver into the 17.9s, and he sets the fastest lap time off the session. That is a very, very nice lap indeed. And again, Nick's provisional pole off FTR Kyle. Is FTR Kyle going to head out again and try and take that back? Or is he going to concede that provisional pole? Or is it possible that someone else among the 20 drivers is also going to fight for this provisional pole position? We have a couple of drivers who are very, very close indeed to the time. Rods is close to the time. Waters equally is not far off. Both drivers in the pits potentially assessing their options. And is that what I think it is? It does look like we have a little drop of rain starting to hit the track. Drivers are wanting to set some times. They're going to need to get out of the pits and start setting those times now, because whenever that rain starts to hit the track, it's going to start to get quite greasy, and the car is just not going to behave the way that it would in those dry conditions. So it'll be really interesting to see if we start to get some drivers out and setting lap times. We do have a couple of drivers out. Alpar still seems to be struggling with track limits. ABD is out on the medium tires. He is at quite a disadvantage to some of those other drivers, and he spins out there, and you can see the impact that the rain is already starting to have. It is light rain, but you can see that is making that track quite a bit more greasy than what it was at the start of the session. That is not a good situation for ABD, who now needs to have another flying lap attempt, and the conditions are not getting any better. For these drivers who have not set lap times now, I would start to be getting a bit worried. You can see the Mercedes there just getting really twitchy at the rear end. And he is heading into the pits as that rain starts to get quite a bit heavier. Is he heading into the pits for a set of intermediate tires, or what is the strategy there? Again, L Powers does seem to be having some difficulties here with the track limits. Another potential attempt which is not going his way. And we are running out of time quickly, just 2.5 minutes left as the Alpine does spin off. He's got plenty of grass there to save him from hitting the barrier. And he can make his entrance back onto the track again in a nice manner. And the Red Bull of Percy has also had a little bit of a spin there. Again, no oncoming traffic, but you can just see how greasy that track is becoming. It really is not a dry track anymore, and there we have it. Race Control have confirmed that DRS has been disabled. That is really the moment where you have to start thinking and have to start questioning those slick tires. Are they the right choice on track, or actually are you going to get more out of having the intermediates set? And we can see Ali is on an outlap at the minute, heading through sector 2, and he's just getting a bit out of shape there. And you can just see there is virtually no activity on track at the minute. Ali is the only driver on track, and you can see he is without a front wing, so the soft tires are not working right now. It does look like ABD is coming out, and he's actually coming out on those soft tires, so it'll be interesting to see how he fares. There is just a minute left for him to get to the finish line, and he doesn't even make it round the corner. He spins out and hits the barrier, loses front wing, or at least part of a front wing in the process. Those slick tires are not working anymore. It's the intermediates that really need to be stuck on, and that doesn't really work now whenever you've got drivers who have set times on, you know, the soft and medium tire in dry conditions. If you're sticking intermediates on in greasy or wet conditions, you're just, no matter how fast you are, you're just not going to be able to match the times that those drivers have been setting on the slick tires in dry conditions. So for those drivers who haven't set a lap time, or set a lap time just as the rain was starting to come on, that is really unfortunate timing for those guys. And you can see ABD coming round sector 3 there, and does not make the finish line on time. And that does conclude our qualifying session here. Quite a dramatic end to the session, as we look to then move on to our 25% sprint race. And we are off on our formation lap. J.A. Foxwell, the McLaren driver, leads us off, and he is on the soft tyre. We do have FTR Kyle directly behind on the medium tyres, and then you can see actually how the strategy starts to change a little bit. You've got Waters and Kraken both on the soft tyres, and then ERS Hamilton, El Senado and Luxty opting for the medium tyre. So there is 4 people who are currently on the medium tyre for the start. It's going to be interesting to see how this starts to play into strategy. See, Foxwell is just weaving from side to side there, just trying to get plenty of heat into those tyres, trying to get them into the optimum working window so that he is primed and ready for his start. And the key for him is having a great start, right? Because we know that FTR Kyle is fast. He is on the slower tyre in comparison to Foxwell, but his tyre is going to last a bit longer. He can keep that tyre going for a bit longer. So Foxwell, what he really needs to do is get a fantastic start off the line. He needs to try and create a bit of a gap to FTR Kyle, which is going to be a challenge. And if he can do that, he could potentially hold himself out the race and potentially keep that P1 position. And remember, this is just our sprint race, and this finishing grid will determine starting positions for our drivers heading into our league race just after. So you can see J.A. Foxwell has set himself on the grid. We are waiting for the Alfa Romeo of Ali to come down to the grid and take his place, and then we can get ourselves going. And there we have it, guys. Drivers are all ready to go. We are waiting for the 5 red lights. And it is lights out, and away we go. ABD has already got a drive-through penalty for a jump start. That is not a good start, and J.A. Foxwell is under immense pressure from FTR Kyle. FTR Kyle does try to get a move done. J.A. Foxwell pushed back. FTR Kyle does have a little bit of contact there. He has to drop back. Kraken is up into second. He's up 2 places. What a fantastic start from Kraken. But El Senado also has an even better start, up 5 places. And he is on the medium tyres too. He can now start to think about putting some pressure under J.A. Foxwell. There's just a 0.4 second gap. We do have yellow flags. It is really hard to follow what is going on here. It looks like Percy and Count Dooku have had contact. The Aston Martin of Count Dooku does have no front wing. He's going to have to take a visit to the pits, and it is not an lead start for the Red Bull drivers. Look, there is plenty of battling going on here. There we have the Mercedes of Rods. He is up 2 places from where he started. He's now got a little bit of a slipstream on the Aston Martin of Waters. Can he get an overtake before turn 1 as J.A. Foxwell sets the fastest lap of the session? He can't. He's not close enough yet. And El Senado up 4 places. He's had a fantastic start, and he can start to put some pressure on FTR Kyle. J.A. Foxwell has done a fantastic job in these initial 2 opening laps to hold off those guys who are really gunning for that top place. He's done a fantastic job so far, and he really needs to just keep that consistency now. It is really tough, the pressure of having those super quick drivers behind you, but he is holding on fantastically, and he just needs to keep that consistency going. Kraken started 4th, remains in 4th, equally a very, very good start indeed, and he is right close to El Senado. You can see though, he has used up quite a bit of his ERS. He is just down to 16% ERS, and that is going to cost him in the later stages of these laps and this race. And fantastic news is that we do have all 20 drivers still remaining with us, which is great to see. We move down to ABD, who remains in 19th place where he started. Luxty down 5 places from where he started. and ABD is starting to put some pressure on him. Ali's got DRS on driver SA. He's having a look down the inside there. Driver SA does allow him the space that he needs, and he gets an overtake done there. That was a fantastic move from Ali up into P9. And Kraken and Waters are battling it out here. Waters is putting pressure under Kraken, and Kraken fights back for P4. Jay Foxwell taken to the grass. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. El Senado is keeping in this fight, as is FTR Kyle. He has got some very little gap there between him and Foxwell. He has to go a bit wide, loses a bit of traction, but he does have DRS. Foxwell is vulnerable now, and he pulls in the inside. He's got the move into turn 1, and Foxwell has to slide into P2. Can El Senado now get a move on Foxwell? Foxwell will get DRS back on FTR Kyle. Can he get a move back? He is looking for it. He's pulling out along inside. He is very, very close, and he decides not yet. It was a little bit too risky for him to get that move done. And we have yellow flags out in a couple of sectors here, but no safety car as of yet, as ERS Hamilton has retired. Not exactly sure what happened there for the Haas driver. And L Powers has also retired as well. We have 2 retirees there, and that is a virtual safety car out. Drivers must slow down 40%, and that gives us a little bit of a breather to assess these opening laps, which have been quite dramatic indeed. Some drivers who have had a fantastic start. Just looking at Ali in the Alfa Romeo, up 11 places from where he started. This is fantastic for him, and a great opportunity to get back in the fight for the actual league race. And the likes of J.A. Foxwell, fantastic opportunity to pit early and under virtual safety car conditions. So while potentially he may have been under threat from those guys on the medium tires, actually pitting under the virtual safety car, he gets a very, very cheap pit stop indeed, while the other drivers are having to slow down by 40%. This strategy could really pay off for him, because the likes of FTR Kyle and El Senado are going to have to pit at some stage, and they may not be able to get to do it under virtual safety car or safety car conditions, so they may be at a disadvantage when it comes to pit stops. DRS has been enabled, and the virtual safety car has ended, and we get racing again. El Senado, a 1.2 second gap to FTR Kyle, who is up 1 place and into first position. Does look like the grid has started to bunch out a little bit, and Kraken is not necessarily feeling the pressure quite as much from Waters, who is now 1.1 seconds behind. He is out of DRS range, although it does look like he has just came into it there. Has he came in enough time? He has met the DRS detection zone, and his DRS, it did show, but actually the flap isn't open for some reason. But he is closing that gap to TXH Kraken, and he gets a second attempt here with DRS assistance. He does look to be a little bit too far behind to get a move, but he is starting to close the gap again with the DRS. Oh, I think he might have hit the back of Kraken there a little bit. Now looking at Ali and V1 Jord. Ali's got DRS on V1 Jord. Oh, a little switcheroo there, dummy from Ali, and V1 Jord fights back. He brakes massively late. He misses the apex and has to go onto the grass as a result, and that allows Ali to slip right through there. That was a very, very nice move from Ali, who takes advantage of a mistake, a rare mistake from V1 Jord. That's going on board now with driver SA. He started in 6th place, remains in 6th. His teammate is up 2 places, and we have Ferrari in 6th and 7th right now. He is closing the gap to AMG Page. As Waters is still closing the gap to Kraken, 0.4 seconds separating these two. He's got DRS again. Can he get the over move done? the overtake done. This is a disaster for Waters, and actually it maybe wasn't as bad as what we thought. We thought that the blue flags were going to cost him there, and Kraken does have a little bit of a mistake. Forces has to go wide, and as a result Waters does slip into that final podium place, but Kraken is not giving up just yet. 0.3 seconds again separating these two drivers. This is a fantastic battle between these two drivers. This is the kind of racing that we love to see. It does look like Kraken is heading into the pits now. Oh, and there is some sort of contact there. AMG Page has DNF'd. Just caught the last glimpse of that. Not exactly sure what happened, but we do have a full safety car out now. Disaster for AMG PH, who is now the third driver that we say goodbye to, and we have a full course safety car as Kraken does head out of the pits now into P7. He has pitted under safety car conditions, or at least partially safety car conditions, and he actually slots in right behind J.A. Foxwell, who pitted under the virtual safety car, and as you can obviously remember, he did start this race in first, so he's going to have tyres which are a little bit older. You can see they are 2 laps older than Kraken's, and actually Kraken could have got a very, very nice opportunity handed to him here to gain some positions. And we have our two front runners, FTR Kyle and El Senado, both in the pits. You can see the soft tyres going on for these drivers. Now this is a tricky call, because really this is quite an early stop for them to head on to the soft tyres. And while the soft tyres will absolutely last the distance here, they're probably jumping into the pits a little bit earlier than they would have liked. So potentially Kraken could be at an advantage here with the medium tyres, because they could go maybe a bit longer or not have as much tyre degradation on them as the likes of FTR Kyle and El Senado. We can see the drivers are starting to form a little line there between or just behind the safety car, FTR Kyle, El Senado and Kraken. We do have Waters, who is starting to catch up to the back of that line there. He is 5 seconds off, but that 5 seconds will be closed very quickly under safety car conditions, and I will imagine that we'll have safety car out for at least another lap while we start to bunch the grid all back together again, because you can see it does look like driver SA had a little bit of contact with Waters there, and that has confirmed a 5 second penalty for driver SA for just tapping the back of Waters under the safety car conditions there. Yeah, all the drivers are bunching up as I explained, so safety car will be with us for at least another lap while these drivers start to bunch up again, and then we can go racing. We do have just 8 laps left, and it has been a fairly good race to start us off. And there we have it, the confirmation we need. Safety car is in this lap. FTR Kyle is slowing down quite a bit now. And this is an interesting situation. Rip Rods in the Mercedes back marker is in between FTR Kyle and El Senado. Nothing he could do about that situation, but hopefully he does move over to allow these other drivers to race, as FTR Kyle does get away quite nicely there. You can see Rip Rods is still sort of fighting. He is not conceding that place just yet, but El Senado does get past, no issues, as does Kraken. Actually, Kraken hasn't overtaken yet. It's not close enough. El Senado, 0.9 seconds between him and FTR Kyle. There is just 7 laps left, and can FTR Kyle hold El Senado off, or will El Senado take that first place? Got a little bit of a battle going on here between some of the drivers. Count Dooku up into 8th and Ali up into 9th. Ali is getting some slipstream off Count Dooku. He pulls onto the outside there to get a move done, and this is one hell of a battle between these 4 drivers. And oh my god, Waters up into P8. This is really one battle. It's very hard to follow indeed, and Ali does look like he has had contact with Waters. Does look like he pushed him off the track. Can't say that it was intentional or not, but that is really, really unfortunate for Waters, who has now dropped right down, and safety car is out again, and you can see he has lost his front wing, or at least part of the front wing. Disaster. And most of our drivers have pitted, so we shouldn't really see anybody into the pits unless it is a required and unscheduled pit stop. And you can see actually Rip Rods is sticking on a set of fresh soft tyres for the final stages of this race. Got a number of drivers who are getting time penalties here. Okay, it looks like the lobby has just bugged out there, so we may have to think about calling it very shortly. Or actually, does look like the safety car is now taking the drivers. I swear this game does some strange things sometimes. Okay, and safety car is in this lap after a very strange safety car period there. Not exactly sure what was going on with that, but it does look like it has recovered itself. So FTR Kyle is back up into first place. El Senado right behind both drivers on soft tyres here. J.A. Foxwell also on the soft tyres. It's going to be one hell of a battle whenever FTR Kyle gets us going, and you can see here Eddie gets us away there. El Senado a little bit further back. J.A. Foxwell not far behind. A. Beatty up into fourth. He is up 15 places from where he started. This is a fantastic recovery from A. Beatty, and Ali, who is also up 15 places as well. Very, very nice indeed. You can see all the drivers are still quite bunched up, but we are not seeing any overtakes just yet. Oh no, disaster for Kraken, not sure what happened there. But he has to make his way back on the track, and it is down in the 12th, down 8 places from where he started. That is really, really unlucky. ABD putting pressure on Foxwell for this final podium place. Foxwell placing that car very nicely to defend from the Mercedes of BD. BD is giving it everything he can. Oh, he's losing it. He's losing it. Into the barrier. Oh, no. And he's doing the right thing here, just trying to make sure he does not hit any oncoming cars, but that is so unlucky for BD, and that is really the nature of racing. He was up 15 places from where he started, and he has dropped all the way back down again. Absolute disaster. Just heading back on here with El Senado, 0.6 seconds off FTR Kyle. There is just one more full lap left. And can El Senado get the move done that he needs? You can see he is using his ERS, but there is just 3% left in it. As DRS is enabled, DRS will be given to El Senado on this back straight here. Can he get a move on FTR Kyle, however? He does look like he's a bit too far away at this stage. Not 0.4 seconds. It is do or die for this AlphaTauri. So close. and just a few corners left to really make a move stick. We did see it in the Division 1 and Division 2 races where we had fights and battles right to the finish line, so this could go right down to the wire. Alcinato could get a move done right on the pit straight. Let's see what he does. He's giving it everything he can, but is what he can enough? He loses a bit of traction there. That cost him a bit of time, and really it does look like FTR Kyle does get the race win at this stage as he makes his way down the pit straight, and he is the first person to cross the line. But penalties do cost him as J.A. Foxwell moves up in the first. Alcinato, Ali, Luke Steen, you can see FTR Kyle is dropping down the pecking order there. And that is it for our sprint race. We'll be back very shortly for our full length league race. Stick with us. And we are back for our full-length race here in Brazil. You can see the weather appears to still be good. No rain expected so far as J.A. Foxwell leads us away on our formation lap. In terms of tyres, you can see the majority of drivers have opted for the soft tyre start. We do have a couple of drivers who are on the mediums. We've got ERS Hamilton, who is starting in 20th place. And we can also see Ross Wales on the mediums and El Senado on the mediums. So it'll be really interesting to see what the strategy is here in terms of tyres. Foxwell, very, very quick driver, as we've seen in qualifying and also in the sprint race. Senado, equally very fast drivers, both on two very different tyres, who the tyres will respond and react quite differently. So it'll be really interesting to see how that all plays out in the race. There we have the predicted pit stop strategy. For those guys starting on the softs, a one stop, it is soft to hards, with the hards being fitted around lap 14 or to 16. And actually this, could change dependent on safety cars we may see, or virtual safety car periods. You can see ERS Hamilton is quite a bit off the rest of the grid. The rest of the grid starting to take their places in their grid spots, and ERS Hamilton really does need to try and catch up there, because the likes of Foxwell, who is now finding his place on the grid, he will not want to be sitting there with no movement for a very long time, because that is going to cost him and his other racers issues with their tyres, and the tyres cooling down, not being at the right temperature. ERS Hamilton is taking his place on the grid now. We are getting ready to go. It's the 5 red lights we're looking for here. And it is lights out, and away we go. J.A. Foxwell gets a very good start, but so does El Senado. Ali, equally a very good start indeed. Both of these drivers are leaving themselves plenty of room into turn 1, which is excellent to see. We do have a pile-up, a massive pile-up here. Look at how many cars have be in contact there. That is an absolute disaster for those cars. FTR Kyle up 5 places in the start. What an unbelievable start for FTR Kyle, who can now start to put pressure under J.A. Foxwell, as we do have El Senado, who goes off track, and it is a DNF for El Senado. Not sure what happened there, but that is an absolute disaster for El Senado, who was set for a fantastic result here. Unbelievable. I'd love to know what happened there to the AlphaTauri. Unfortunately, we didn't catch it. And we do also have ERS Hamilton and L Powers, who have also retired. And as a result, that does bring out the safety car in lap 1. Now, with the safety car coming out in lap 1, I do suspect we won't see any pit stops at this stage, unless it is for front wing change, for example. It is too early at this stage. There we have J.A. Foxwell, who meets the safety car, and you can see all the drivers starting to form up behind. And after what was a very good sprint race, it's a very poor start to the league race here with 3 drivers DNFing already. And we do have Ali, who has received a 5-second penalty for collision with FTR Kyle under safety car conditions. FTR Kyle will get a 5-second time penalty as well, but he can definitely contest that as Ali has retired. What happened there? Another retiree and another person who had a lot of potential to do well in this race, dropping right down the pecking order. What a disaster. And safety car remains with us for another lap at least. The safety car has come in, and it is a disaster for FTR Kyle, who has spun out there. It does look like there was a bit of contact between him and Foxwell. It does just seem like he was squeezed out a little bit. Okay, and we are back, guys. Apologies for that. So, just going on here now, looking at Nobushi, who is 0.5 seconds off Luxty. He's up 5 places from where he started. There we have it. Safety car is out again, as Waters has an incident there. You can see a number of drivers heading into the pits. Front runner J. Foxwell and Count Dooku and Rippin' Rods all heading into the pits there. V1 Jord does stay out for now, and he is on 11 lap old soft tires, so will he decide to pit when he comes round to the pits next time round? We'll find out shortly.